position on county tax abatements to attract new business and employment to Wayne County.
I'm for it. It's pretty easy because we're trying to bring in businesses. That's part of the economic development. Even Wooster has something called the Wooster Growth Corp, and they look at all those things. The idea is, how do you attract new business? Because we want to grow, and that's one of the ways. Now, there's also the other side to that that you absolutely have to look at, and is it a fair, competitive situation? Because if you move that into a place where they have no other tax abatement, and this gives them a competitive advantage over the existing companies that you have here, then you could have a problem. But in general, I'm 100% for it. It just needs to be done in the proper way. But if it brings work, additional companies to the county, I'm for that.
Thank you. Mr. Carmichael.
Yes, I think at each time that we do a tax abatement, it has to be looked at its own merits. It can't just be a rubber stamp. We just can't go out and give tax abatements 75%, 50%, or whatever it is. It has to come to some kind of a standard, you know. And I think the tax abatements would be like maybe the automobile dealers, whenever they say that it's no interest for 60 months or whatever it is. And I've talked to some of those guys, and they say they wish we had never started that. But we would be on an even playing field if we didn't have it. But once we have it now, we have to keep it. But I think each and every one of the times that we want a tax abatement, whoever it might be, has to be considered on its own basis.
Thank you. Mr. Wright.
I believe in tax abatements. If a company comes in and needs help and they hire so many people, then we figure out what percentage to give their tax abatement. But to get a company to come in, you have to offer them something. And Wayne County, if we can get a factory or jobs, even if it creates 5 jobs, we need to consider on how much tax abatement to give them by how many people they hire.
Thank you. Mrs. Smail?
I also agree with tax abatements, and they all do need to be looked at in an individual manner. These tax abatements are what is helping businesses be attracted to Wayne County. And I think that, I just lost my train of thought. We are currently, as we saw in the paper yesterday, we are in one of the top 10 micropolitan areas in the nation, and that is because of the ability to give tax abatements, but they each do need to be looked at in an individual basis.
Thank you. Mr. Mackey?
I have to agree with everyone else here as well. Everything, we do have to look at that. I agree with the tax abatements. I think we have to look at the areas where we can make that investment. I think it will help the entire county, and at the same time, it will benefit the progress we've made so far in the communities. We, as we know, the Wayne Economic Council is very strong in the area. We're rated very high in the nation, and we've been able to get new business in this area. We need to continue to do that as well with the progress we've made. We've got good people in those positions to make that happen, so that's all I've got.
Thank you. The next question is directed